Welcome to a new quick hitter from Full Court Press with Fanta and Adams. Our guest this week is ESPN and CBS college basketball analyst Mike O'Donnell. We discuss the financial ramifications involved in the state of college basketball and a 2020-21 season happening. Why the NCAA needs to find a way in this. If the health and safety is remotely possible to sustain for their student athletes. The finances in this situation speak for themselves. Mike, you've talked with athletic directors about everything going on. What are your takeaways from those conversations?
Oh, where to start? I won't take you down too deep of a rabbit hole. First thing that everybody has to understand is athletic directors will not be making the decisions for their individual schools. I can't stress that enough. I'm not trying to take away power from ADs. That's just not the way the structure works. It's presidents and conference commissioners. And also, John, without really divulging too much information, you have to take into account your powerful donors. Those are the individuals that will be the sounding board, will be sometimes the microphone for athletic directors for what they want to say, what they need to say, and what they can say. That's a little side note. Really what we're looking at is from a college basketball standpoint, there's an idea of trying to figure out a way to make winter break non-conference schedules work, whether it's bubble tournaments in different states to where you're just going from hotel on site into the ballroom where the gym is, and then pushing what an actual schedule looks like for spring. I am all for spring sports. I think it would be a blast from the viewer standpoint. I would, just if you're just a fan and you turn on the TV and you get to watch Creighton Butler for an hour and a half, 2 hours, and you flip the channel and you've got Clemson, North Carolina in the afternoon from a football standpoint. That'd be great. That'd be incredible to watch. So I'm all for it. The difficult thing when it comes to spring sports is not every campus is set up to house every single sport, all of their schedules, all of the operations directors in one kind of outfit. You'd really have to stagger the games as much as you could. You're talking athletics employees that would be working almost 18-hour days. It would be, in some schools, it could be impossible, but it's a lot better than cutting sports. I talked to a Pac-12 school that said if we don't play college football, we will lose 87% of our revenue, 87% of our budget. And when people say, well, good, let's just blow up all of college sports, and if they lose 87% of the revenue, so be it. That's one of the most disrespectful things you could actually say. When you lose in a business, 87% of revenue is not 87% of profit. When you lose that revenue, things die, things disappear, things go away. You're talking about cutting sports. If you cut a women's sport, you have to cut a men's sport scholarships from a Title IX perspective. You're talking thousands and thousands of athletes that could be without a home from a college standpoint. So colleges, ADs are doing everything they possibly can to figure out a way to make this work. And the last thing I'll say, John, is for conferences, particularly college football, Big Ten and the Pac-12, which I think is really interesting, is that there isn't if they're not going to play, if they say we're just not going to play in the spring, what they're going to have to do is they're going to have to take out a loan to survive. We're talking $100 million loan. Some Pac-12 schools will be trying to take out a loan against the university. And some Pac-12 schools, their athletic programs don't have a great relationship with the university and are actually looking at taking out loans from major donors or one particular major donor at like 3.5%. That's kind of business talk, but that's the in-depth type of college basketball business, college athletics business that we're not talking about enough.
Let's spring off that thought of potential non-conference play around the holidays in those openings that you could have teams go to a hotel and potentially go down to a ballroom or something to that effect. When people ask, well, what's the logistics of this situation? What's the financials of this situation? The way that I see it right now, Mike, is the NCAA is going to do absolutely whatever it takes to make these types of things happen, to have a lead up to March Madness and everything that comes with March Madness, which is a lot of cash, that you're looking at a situation where when people ask, well, how is this feasible? How is this doable? In my mind, Mike, we are getting to the point where if it is remotely feasible for the NCAA to find a way to pull this off, they're going to do everything in their power to do so. Because if you go another March without a big dance and have 2 consecutive big dances gone, the NCAA, a part of it, has already fallen into what I would call a life support mode. If you have a second big dance done, no March Madness again, the NCAA, as we know it, will cease to exist. That's just the reality of this situation. Do you agree?
Oh, yeah. Well, I half agree to that, only that what most people don't realize is when the NCAA makes $1 billion off the NCAA tournament, it doesn't go into an NCAA bank account and Mark Emmert pockets the cash. It pays for except for football, it pays for every single sports championship, every single one. That includes the men's basketball tournament for the upcoming year. And you're talking hundreds of millions of dollars outside of just the sports championships that won't be going to the individual conferences and institutions. You're talking, I don't like throwing around the word catastrophic because I think sometimes people just use that as a hot take or to get clicks. If you don't have the NCAA tournament this season, it would be catastrophic for hundreds of athletic programs, Division I athletic programs. It would be a complete disaster.
We hope you listen to the full conversation with Mike O'Donnell. Check out Full Court Press with Fanta and Adams every Tuesday from Pure Hoops Media.
Full Court Press with Fanta and Adams is a presentation of Pure Hoops Media.